Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo joins me now. Mr. Secretary, before we get into that, I would like your comment on the Pentagon's. We have our Secretary of Defense who could only muster a two-line statement about what happened to our troops over the weekend. He had to read the lines in front of him, sitting across the table from the NATO Secretary General. Your reaction to that tonight?
You know, when I first watched it, Laura, I was appalled at the lack of emotion about the loss of the 3 soldiers. Frankly, you add the 2 Navy SEALs, that's 5 in just the last couple of weeks. Great Americans no longer with us. And he was reading a statement as if he was reading from the dictionary. I just find that disturbing. But more importantly, the policies that have resulted from this Secretary of Defense and this President have led precisely to the place we find ourselves today. And while they talk about not wanting World War III, they talk about not wanting escalation, it is moments like that that the Ayatollah watches or that Xi Jinping watches and he says, I can roll these guys. And to date, I would argue they certainly have done that.
Your reaction now to what we're learning about this UN agency and the Hamas attacks connection. Are you shocked by this or not really, given some of the history with these UN workers?
Laura, among the least surprising breaking news moments of the last 3 years. We have known for a long time, our CIA has known for a long time that UNRWA was deeply connected to the folks that operate Hamas and the leadership, that the UN there was a corrupt organization providing resources to Hamas instead of trying to feed and fuel the Gazan people. We saw this in the Trump administration. The Biden administration reversed our policy. We stopped funding these guys, and the Biden administration restored it, and you can precisely see the result. These are not inevitabilities, as the Biden administration would suggest to you. What happened on October 7th, what happened to our soldiers in Jordan this past week, these are not inevitable things. When America fails to do the basic idea, fails to execute the basic idea of building a strong military, drawing red lines, and then defending them, this is exactly what happens, Laura.
It's a heartbreak. We lose those SEALs. Now we lose these 3. There are apparently some horrific injuries of our troops who were sleeping when this attack took place. We all remember what happened in 1983 in Lebanon with 242 Marines, I believe, who died in that attack. But Secretary Pompeo, we expect more from a Secretary of Defense after a weekend like this. It's a heartbreak.
Laura, my wife Susan will tell you that every morning when I would wake up, when I was a CIA director, Secretary of State, I was thinking about where my folks in my embassy safe, were my guys on the ground at the CIA safe. This was a central focus of what we did. It's one of the reasons we wanted to ensure we had deterrence. We did pretty damn good work for 4 years, and now we've lost that very deterrence that we had built up in the Trump administration. And I fear that we're not at the end of this. We are simply just at the beginning.
Secretary Pompeo, thank you so much. Great to see you as always.